Hello, BookTube. I just finished FaceTiming with an author of my acquaintance, and I thought as long as I'm all gussied up and got pants on and, and the camera all set up, uh, that I would do a mail haul. So let's do that. The FaceTime, a marvel of modern technology. I I've been doing it. I've done it a couple of times in the last week, and I gotta say, I greatly like it. So if you want to be FaceTime, you just let me know and we'll work it out. But anyway, let's see. So the first one here is a work of nonfiction. Comes out in a couple of weeks. It's by Stephen King, but it's not the bad Stephen King. So it might be good. It's called Grave New World. The End of Globalization, The Return of History. The Return of History being a play on poor Francis Fukuyama, whose book The End of History. He's never going to hear the end of that. So people are going to comment. They're going to play on that title for the rest of time, as he had the nerve to be optimistic. uh, let's see here. Okay, this Stephen King is an economist, not a bad writer. And he is, well, I don't know, he could be a bad writer too. We'll find out. The British have voted in favor of Brexit. Countries elsewhere in Europe are becoming more nationalist. Donald Trump is the president of the United States, promising to reject globalization in its many forms. China is increasingly belligerent in the South China Sea. Vladimir Putin's brand of nationalism fuels fears and nervousness abroad. With such major shifts across the world, the smooth progression of globalization seems unlikely going forward. Business speak, going forward. Uh, in this new book, Stephen King untangles the complex economic, social, historical, and geographic reasons behind the West's unease with globalization. Grave New World, The Return of History, meaning, I'm sure the author means that in a bad way. And this Stephen King is the author of When the Money Runs Out, The End of Western Affluence, and Losing Control, The Emerging Threats to Western Prosperity. Both out by Yale. And this is Yale. Okay. All right, so we start off with on a grim note with grim nonfiction. We'll see if this guy knows what he's doing. And then, oh God. Okay. Okay, I had to mention grim nonfiction. Our next book is from the poet laureate of grim nonfiction, Noam Chomsky. This is Optimism Over Despair on Capitalism, Empire, and Social Change. I have no idea what that title means. Optimism has never won out over despair in Noam Chomsky's writing, thinking, or life. So he's the type of person who you think the split is between people who see the glass as half empty and half full. He's the type of person who it's neither half empty nor half full. It was made by slave laborers. So what difference does it make whether it's half empty or half full? So this comes out in late July, uh, and it is this volume offers readers a concise and accessible introduction to the ideas of Noam Chomsky. An introduction. Oh, so this is a collection ranging over time. Yes. Okay. Yeah. This is a collection of interviews. Okay. All right. So it's not a Chomsky original like Who Rules the World was last year. It's instead a collection of depressing interviews. But that's okay. Still, no matter how gloomy he is, he's must reading. You have to read him. So I'll get to that. And this is two nonfiction right out of the gate. How long can we keep that up? Oh golly. Oh my. It's an olive book. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. As the Tsar, the last of the Tsars. This is Nicholas II and the Russian Revolution by Robert Service, who did a great, enormous book on the end of the Cold War. It was just fantastic. This is another book. We saw this. We saw this in the catalog for Pegasus Books. I think that's when I noted it. The life and reign of Nicholas II. So well trod ground. Story has been told many times, but Service's deep understanding of the period and his forensic examination of previously untapped sources, including the Tsar's diaries and recorded conversations, as well as the testimonies of the official inquiry, shed remarkable new light on his troubled reign. Okay. All right. This comes out in early September. Okay. This is an advanced copy, so it will not have what I need. All right. It has the index. Oh, all right. No, this is the finished. This is an advanced copy in paperback, but all of the critical apparatus is present. So I will be combing through the critical apparatus of the back of the book because I simply do not believe that. I think the line that says previously untapped sources is simply a black and white lie. And I guess that the first thing I will do will be to examine this and find out to what extent. It doesn't matter. There aren't any previously untapped sources. What you're going to do with Tsar Nicholas II and the end of his regime is simply tell it, well or poorly, interesting or not interesting. But the gamut of saying, well, in addition to all that, we've got new material on the Romanovs. I could be wrong. I'll dig right in. We'll see. Oh my! All right, this is 4 nonfiction in a row. That's great. All right, this comes out in a week, and this is by Gerald Stein, Acker, and it is called "Humanitarians at War: The Red Cross in the Shadow of the Holocaust." And who is Gerald Steinacker when he's at home? He's associate professor of history and the Hyman Rosenberg Professor of Judaic Studies at the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. He's the author of numerous publications on German and Italian 20th century history, most recently Nazis on the Run, How Hitler's Henchmen Fled Justice, which came out in 2011, and I read it, and it was good. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Under fire for its failure to speak out against the Holocaust or to extend substantial assistance to Jews trapped in Nazi camps across Europe, the ICRC, the International Community of the Red Cross, was desperate to salvage its reputation if it were to remain relevant in the post-war world. The organization emerged from the World War with a new commitment to protecting civilians caught in the crossfire of conflict, but it did so while defending former Nazis at the Nuremberg trials and issuing travel papers to many of Hitler's former henchmen. These actions did little to silence the Red Cross critics, who unfavorably compared the shabby neutrality of the Swiss with the good neutrality of the Swedes. Okay, that sounds really good. That sounds really meaty. And that also is that is due right away. God, I don't have much lead time with these. All right, let's see what this next one is. I gotta confess, at this point, if it's a novel, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. So we've got a solid nonfiction so far. What is this next one? More nonfiction. Fantastic. This also comes out in a week. This is the finished copy of Paradise Lost, a new biography of F. Scott Fitzgerald, by David Brown, who is the Raffensperger Professor of History at Elizabethtown College. And nothing else, just that one line. No picture, no nothing else. So this is... I have read all the F. Scott Fitzgerald biographies, and the question will be what use this author makes of all of those others, of all the ones that have come before him. It's another case where I find it. I will laugh if the publicity material says there's previously untapped sources. It's just absurd. But let's see here. Pigeonholed in popular memory as a jazz-age Epicurean playboy and emblem of the lost generation, F. Scott Fitzgerald was at heart a moralist, struck by the nation's shifting mood and manners after World War I. We read this already. I read this when I got the advanced copy, I think. In Paradise Lost, David Brown contends that Fitzgerald's deepest allegiances were to a fading antebellum world he associated with his father's Chesapeake Bay roots. Yet as a Midwesterner, an Irish Catholic, and a perpetually in-debt author, he felt like an outsider in the haute bourgeoisie haunts of Lake Forest, Princeton, and Hollywood. Okay. I confess I have not got to the advanced copy, so once again the finished copy is a needed kick in the seat. I will read it. And then we got one of these big cardboard things, which you sort of have to tear it apart to find out what's in it, and it's got to be in little pieces or it won't go back into the recycling bin. So you just have to discombobulate it. Let's see what this is. Oh, all right, good. This is the finished copy of a book that we just saw recently on my TBR BY. This is a finished copy of Wolf Nation by Brenda Peterson. So this will have. Okay, there's what an evocative cover photo. There's our author. This has her enormous research, and it has all of the little each chapter has a spot illustration. No full color illustrations, but that's okay. All right, I'm glad to have a finished copy of it. And then we end with a box. What will be in here? It's a total nonfiction sweep. That never happens. This is George Washington, A Life in Books. A finished copy of another book we saw originally. The Oxford sheet here says this is due in May. It was due on May 1st, so I've already read it and I've taken notes. So I will do a review of this for Open Letters Weekly right away. So there you have it. Hard to believe, but it's bound to happen sooner or later. We have George Washington. We have Wolves. We have F. Scott Fitzgerald. We have The Return of History. We have Humanitarians at War, the Red Cross salvaging their reputation. We have Nicholas II. And we have Noam Chomsky for a total nonfiction sweep. Fantastic. So that's it for now, and I'll see you soon, BookTube. Feel free to FaceTime me.